case study where we look through a recently approved partner visa that we've handled for clients of ours so that you can get an idea of the types of facts that couples will typically have prior to submitting a partner visa, and also get an idea of how long an application may take, factoring in processing times for this particular couple. So in this case study, we're looking at an applicant from Bangladesh. So it's an onshore partner visa, but the applicant held passport from Bangladesh. The total processing time was 21 months from when the application was submitted to the eventual approval. And this couple were married at the time of application. Okay. Now, this visa was granted on the 17th of January, 2023. There's a copy of the approval as proof of what I'm talking about. Just FYI, all these approvals and these timeline images are available in our approvals booklet. You can have a look at the approvals booklet through our website. So just go to our website, home.salvamigration.com.au. You'll see a link to the approvals booklet, and you'll see all our partner visa approvals there if you'd like to look at this in a bit more detail and kind of download the booklet and look at the timelines a bit easier. But this visa was granted on the 17th of January, 2023, submitted back in April 2021. Okay. Now, this couple, in terms of their relationship timeline, so that was their application timeline, how long it took with the government. Relationship timeline, we're looking at this couple met, introduced to the sponsor's family. So this is an interesting one where likely we're looking at an arranged marriage or relationship scenario, which is very common for people that come from certain parts of the world, or couples where one or both partners originate from a certain region, typically Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, etc., and other countries, where they may have met the family prior to actually meeting each other. And that is the case here, where the applicant was introduced to the sponsor's family, likely who would have been overseas at the time, in January 2020, but then they eventually met in person in February 2020. Okay, so an interesting dynamic here and characteristic to this couple where they actually didn't meet in person first. Their families, or one party met each other's family, or the families met each other prior to them meeting in person. Very common in, again, arranged style marriages or arranged style relationships. So similarly, then they were introduced to the applicant's family in February 2020, and then started dating exclusively from there, engaged in February 2020. So as you can see, quite a quick turnaround time in terms of family meeting, engaged, and then married in March 2020. So this is a unique case study, I suppose I would say, within the context of typical traditional relationships here in Australia. We're looking here at an arranged style relationship where the actual duration of the relationship from when they met and the relationship commenced to the engagement to the marriage is all very short, comparatively to a lot of other kind of Western relationships that tend to formulate here or tend to kind of progress here in Australia. So married very quickly, engaged our services in October 2020. And then from there, we really worked on strengthening this couple's facts prior to an application being submitted. So, yes, the government understand that arranged marriages and relationships won't fit into the box of your typical relationship here in Australia, but at the same time, they're going to apply the same partner visa criteria. And effectively, in short, in simple terms, this couple still needs to be able to demonstrate that they're in a married relationship at the time of application and continue to be until an application is decided. And that means that they are living together or plan to live together, that they financially support each other, that their friends and family, their social circle know about the relationship, are supportive, can write supporting documentation, and that we can demonstrate this couple are committed to each other, committed to their futures. Those are the four aspects of any application, and it still applies to arranged marriages. You just have to, or arranged relationships, you just have to approach it sensitively, kind of with the appropriate cultural lens. And so it's not going to be the same copy-paste relationship that you'll find in couples that meet here. You have to approach it a bit differently, but at the same time, understand you still need to meet the same criteria as couples that meet, in Australia. So, engaged our services in October 2020, and then there was things that we worked on to strengthen the couple's facts, such as organized wills in November, nominated each other as beneficiaries to super policies. They started cohabitating in January 2021, opened joint bank accounts in February 2021, obtained a joint lease in May 2021, and then a child was born. The couple had a child born post-lodgement. So the graphic there is a bit off. Date of application was April 2021, child born September 2022. Okay, so lodgement, about a year and a bit later, child born whilst the application is still pending, and then eventually the visa was granted on the 17th of January 2023. So interesting case study here, a bit different, I suppose, not your ordinary case study compared to the other ones you may have seen or the ones that we've done in the past, but still a useful one nonetheless, particularly if you're watching this from that part of the world and you're considering applying for partner visas on the basis of an arranged marriage. Likely what would have happened here, and it's not reflected in the time frame, in the timeline, we may have worked on tourist visas to get the partner here first and then apply onshore. I do believe that was the case here. And that's why this wasn't an offshore application. This is why this was an onshore application. Is because we would have looked to get the partner here even after marriage. And that's something that I talk about at length in our Partner Visa Secrets training, in our module, in Module 1 particularly, where we talk about options, strategies for couples that are physically apart. And often that scenarios where couples, for example, are in arranged marriages, arranged relationships. Typically, the Australian sponsor is here, the applicant is overseas. They go through the arranged marriage process. The sponsor has to come back, and then we're looking at options to get them reunited quickly. Now, an offshore partner visa isn't really going to satisfy that priority, that preference of trying to be reunited quickly. You're looking at an indeterminate amount of time that an offshore partner visa may take. So often we look to get the partner here, and that's likely what would happen here. Get the partner here on a visitor visa, declare the intention to apply for a partner visa, prove the relationship, really do all those things that I talk about in Module 1 of Partner Visa Secrets, and then get them here and then apply for an onshore partner visa. To me, that is likely what would have happened in this case study. I can't interpret that based on the time frame, but I'm going to make assumptions based on the visa type that was submitted and understanding how this couple met and how their relationship progressed. So let's look at some summaries. They met approximately 14 months prior to lodgement. Okay, so comparative to other couples, other timeframes, other timelines you may have seen me work through, that's kind of ballpark. Having been together for 12 months prior to lodgement is, I would say, around the middle ground. Started dating exclusively similarly. I mean, this couple started dating exclusively immediately, and then really cohabitated for a couple of months prior to lodgement. Started pulling finances really only a couple of months prior to lodgement. A baby born of the application after lodgement, and they were married about 13 months prior to lodgement. Okay, so again, an interesting variety and combination of facts. I hope that this is applicable to some of you and that you draw confidence in understanding that even in arranged marriage situations, there are options that may not necessarily need to revolve around an offshore partner visa application. I think that is often misunderstood, or people assume that you can't get visitor visas for partners, wives, husbands of Australians, because the government won't grant tourist visas to people that are in relationships. That's not true. We only prepare tourist visas in scenarios like this, where they are married or in a genuine de facto or engaged relationship, and we try to get the partner here first before applying for an onshore application. That is always generally our preferred approach, because we want to avoid an offshore application if we can, which would have been the case here as an example. So that's it from me, guys. If you would like us to assist you in your partner visa process, please go to the link shown here and book your obligation-free roadmap call. We have different ways and products and services that we can help couples on their partner visa journey. It doesn't need to be that we manage the process for you, but of course that is a service that we offer. We also can coach and teach you to prepare your own application using Visa, which is our partner visa preparation software and coaching package, all information of which is available on our website. That's it from me, Martin, from Salvo Migration, and I'll see you all in the next case study.